'Cause I'm yours to keep if you want to.
And we're rolling.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that, son. We got YO, a.k.a. Jonas Michael, a.k.a. Love Chakra. Hey, man.
What's up, baby?
What's up, beautiful?
Miss you.
I miss you too, man.
Glad to be here right now.
Yeah,
man.
I'm glad we're doing this. We're just going to walk it back from all the way to the beginning. What's your full name?
Full name.
Yep.
Full name is Jonas Mikkel.
Yep. You named after anybody?
No, my grandmother came up with the name while my mother was pregnant. The name derives from Ethiopia. It means simply dove.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Where are you from?
Originally from Seattle.
Okay.
Came here in 97 in Ladera Heights. Ladera Heights in Inglewood.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much home is Seattle, but I'm pretty much like an LA baby.
Yeah. What was it
You
like
know?
growing up in Seattle? You remember it much?
Growing up in Seattle, spent a lot of time with my mother and my grandmother and my father separately. My parents divorced when I was a baby. I don't even remember them together. So I remember a lot of times with just my mother taking me to like track meets, putting me in sports, putting me in basketball, and then finding a love in basketball, which was getting me out of the streets because I was playing like ding dong ditch.
I can see that. I can see you as a little asshole kid.
Ringing doorbells and like having
Yeah,
a bucket of
mischievous.
balloons.
Yeah.
When they open up the door, bow. That was me. And then my mom was like, yeah, okay, you need some structure.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time in the gym just playing basketball, spending weekends with my father, playing ping pong. Growing up, I had a decent childhood, man. Just like fishing with my grandparents, always bonding with like my cousin who was 4 years older. So I was always like the young buck hanging with the older kids and riding bikes. It was a cool childhood. There was always music around. Like Sundays, everybody would come to my grandmother's house, and that was the first time I would like see vinyls and like uncles in one room gambling, the aunts and moms and grandmas in the kitchen cooking and gossiping, and then the kids is just playing video games and just running around the house.
Yeah.
That was like my childhood. And then that was with the mother's side. And then my father's side, I remember him being embarrassed, him picking me up from school in a taxi cab. And this was around the time when African Booty Scratcher was like the joke of all jokes. And I was like, yo, fuck y'all, bro. Like, I know I'm African, but like that joke is not cool. So I spent a lot of time like defending my name and who I was. And I kid you not, man, like basketball gave me like the pass to be like, oh, he's the cool kid now. He's like, he's actually decent at something. So we'll stop calling him African Booty Scratcher, bro. I had a cool childhood, man. From getting teased to getting in fights to getting F's on report cards to getting smacked in the face, and I went through all like the stages.
Yeah, you
of a
lived.
kid.
Yeah.
And then boom, one day my mom was like, yo, she got remarried and was the greatest choice ever, moving to LA.
Cool.
10 years old.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What was it like making that transition?
What was I like making that transition? So mind you, like all I knew about LA was Tupac and NWA, Snoop Dogg. To Live and Die in LA, I think was just like brand new. That was my picture of LA. So I was geeked out of my mind to move.
Yeah.
And I remember the first thing we did as a family, we went down Hollywood Boulevard, and there's a picture that lives in my mom's house to this day. It's Hollywood, a fake Hollywood sign in a store. Me like this, like I made it, right? Like,
yeah.
I looked up to Hollywood. Like that was like rappers look up to other rappers as their fathers.
Yeah.
As Jay-Z and Kanye's and Tribes, and sad to say, Hollywood was like, yo, as a kid from Seattle, like, I wanted to be there.
I don't think that's uncommon. I mean, obviously, because we're deeply love music, like it has that it has its own appeal from a musician's lover of music standpoint. But when you really think about, like, you know, almost everyone else outside of music has that draw to specifically Hollywood. You know, the allure of, like, the entertainment business and the things that are going on, and, like, the movie version of that. But it's interesting that you say that your understanding of it, like the imagery of it, came from those albums.
From the albums.
Yeah.
From music videos and just listening to music.
Yeah. That's great.
There's no internet at that time. There's no, you know, cell phone. So it's like what I saw on the TV or movies or heard, that was my picture.
Sure. And how did that match up to reality when you moved here?
You know what? Hollywood got a piece of me. I remember being in a grocery store with my mom. A guy who supposedly had a big agency account and was like, "Oh my God, you have a beautiful look. This is your son." My mom's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yo, we're gonna make him a star. We're gonna get him on a Gap ad." And I'm just like, what? Wait a minute, like, what? This doesn't happen. So he gasses me up, gasses my mom up. We go to this guy's office, which is off of, now look back at it, it's such a scam. Vine and Hollywood. It's one of those tall brick buildings.
Sure.
We go all the way up there, take all these pictures, spend like, I think my mom spent like $300 to take pictures. Audition for this bullshit ass commercial. Took our money. Never heard back from again.
Wow.
10 years old. No, I'm sorry. I was like, I had to be maybe like 12 or 13.
Okay.
Not that big of a difference. But
yeah.
That was my first taste of like, oh, this is Hollywood. Yeah. Oh, okay. I went through a freaking stage of emotions, bro, as like a teenager. Sure. Like telling my friends one thing, yo, my mom going to work telling everybody about her son. Week goes by not hearing from this guy, and like, okay. It is what it is. Wipe your tears. You just got played. Put your guard up. Welcome to LA.
Yeah, I was just about to say. So that's the reality of Hollywood.
Yes. Smacked. You're hit.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense to me, though. Obviously, knowing you, like, you just have a look and a style that's obviously like you're built for that. So for me, it's like it makes sense that somebody would pick up on that early, and honestly, that the lightning could strike for you like that, you know. Like that's the wild thing that is actually reality. But unfortunately, I feel like that scam side of things is more of the true nature of Hollywood. That's some funny shit.
Yeah, they got me, bro.
Well, after that, what was, like, you know, you're getting into probably high school at that point in time?
I was getting into high school. I was into basketball heavies. I mean, literally, like, sleeping with my basketball, waking up with my basketball.
Wow. Okay.
Carrying my basketball in high school, having a basketball in my locker. Like, that was my first girlfriend that I would attend to daily after school, do your homework, go to the park, play basketball.
I assume obviously that's with the intention of like going pro. The dream is kind of,
really believed that I could. My thing was I could make it in college. I didn't even, of course, NBA, but my thing was I want to go to college and play. So I really believed that I could go to college and compete on a very high level. And that came short. But I'll rewind back. 6th grade, my stepdad started coaching me and gave me the confidence. It wasn't until I got the confidence that showed me that if I could believe in myself, I could do anything. No one's ever sat me down and like told me that. So when he gave me that code, you couldn't tell me anything, bro. Like from 6th grade to 12th grade, bro, I was gonna make it. 7th grade, 8th grade, I was gonna make it. I mean, I was getting trophies, MVP here, getting asked to play on travel teams here, and I mean, I had a book of moves back when and one was like a thing. I had a book of moves that I would like religiously attend to and like practice in my basement. Somewhere deep in my mom's garage, bro, there's like a VHS of me with these book of moves performing them on camera, bro.
Wow. We got to see that.
I gotta dig in the box, bro. Like that video lives somewhere, bro. Basketball was my first girlfriend.
Man, that's super cool though of your stepdad to like sit you down and put that into you.
He gave me the code.
That's great. That's really great.
His thing was don't think, just play. Cause when I used to play ball, I would always like think about the move, and he could see it before me. Timeout. Put me to the side. He's like, yo, just fucking do it. Just do it. Like, you have the skill to do it. Just do it. Stop thinking. The moment he did that, everything switched. And it's fun. I still like apply that to my life now.
Yeah, that's a great
Don't think
piece.
so much.
Yeah.
Don't think on that record so much. Don't think about whatever. Like, bro, just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good formula, man.
Yeah, for sure. That's huge. I want to rewind back a little bit and go back to your first job.
Yeah. First job?
Yeah.
First job. Shit. First job was in Seattle.
Okay.
My biological father had a market store in the community of Seattle. It was known to be like, it was off like near Broadway. It was very like grunge, hipster area. And him and his brother opened up this store, and that was probably like my first job, sweeping the store, turning on the lights, making sure all the product is stocked on the shelves, running the register at times. That was the first time I learned about an IOU. Like he had relationships with the community, and some people didn't have money to pay for things, so he had a notebook. And I remember times like, okay, they didn't have the money. I would have to write down their names, how much they owed, and when they would owe it by. Like that, I had to like keep track of all of these documents for my dad. So the grocery store was the first job.
Cool.
Not making any money. He would just give me like, after I did my duties, a couple quarters.
Sure.
Go play at the arcade or something, or just get lost in the city.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where to go after that? Next job.
Next job. What was my next job? Next job was with Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff got me my first job in LA, which was working at Sports Chalet in the Marina Del Rey. He was in the shoe section. I got hired to work fucking treadmills. I was like, yo, I don't know anything about treadmills and ellipticals. I could do skateboards, but like, yo, though I was selling treadmills, I feel bad. Like, I'm gassing people up, bro. Just taking their money for treadmills. Like, I'm gonna sell you the most expensive treadmill in Sports Chalet. Some days were great. Some days were horrible because they would question me. And I'm like, yo, honestly, I don't know shit about this treadmill. I'm just a kid just trying to make some money. I don't know shit. Buy it. Work out. You'll feel good. That was my pitch.
Yeah, it's interesting. If
Chalet.
you have to do it,
Yeah.
And then what'd you do after that?
Sports Chalet. What did I do after that? With Jeff again. Those that are watching, Jeff is a mutual friend of ours, childhood friend that I grew up with, and he's been a part of both of our upbringing.
Yeah, for sure. For 14 years, 15 years for me, and probably 20 some plus for you.
We went to high school together.
Yeah.
My next job was background work with a talent agency.
Okay.
So I would get called randomly from a guy named Jock. Hey, yo, this is Jock. What do you want to make today? Would you like to be in a video? I'm like, how much? $200. Yes. Making $200 being in the background video. I did some stuff for like B2K. Did some stuff for like Omarion, Pussycat Dolls. Like, I'm way in the background. You're not going to see me. So that was, I think from that moment, it was just another reminder, like, I love entertainment.
Yeah.
That was my little taste again of Hollywood.
Sure.
And from there, Well, I'll let you.
No, honestly, that's
From
there's
there,
the next direction.
From there, that kind of built up the entertainment muscle of like getting to understand how people move and how people talk in this game and how things are just done, pretty much. Mind you, I dropped out of college because, long story short, I got recruited from a D2 school in Iowa. Coach resigned. I got depressed and was like, fuck basketball. Dropped out of college. The plan B was music. Started doing background work for music videos and movies. And then I went closer to my plan B, which was the music.
Yeah.
And tapped into a 4-man group started by my uncle Anthony, who actually taught me how to write music and rap and record myself. And it was myself, Anthony, a girl named Ablaze, who I went to high school with, and Thurs, who I went to high school with, and we were Rapture Camp. And we did like several mixtapes, sold tickets to perform. What is that guy's name? He's an LA staple, man.
I'm drawing a blank on the Rob something, or I can't remember. I know the ticket hustle. You know, he's like one of the most famous names. It'll hit one of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're selling tickets.
Selling tickets for him to open up. Our biggest show at that time was like open up for Lupe Fiasco at the Key Club. That was like the biggest show we ever done. Packed out from bottom to the top floor, and that was like. When that happened, I was like, oh, shit. This is real. I'm actually this person living in this moment. We can do this.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Cool.
Mixtapes, albums, passing out mixtapes on the streets. That sounds just hella fucking foreign right now.
Yeah, I'm sure. So that was like, what, early 20s?
That had to be like 2005.
Okay.
2005. Yeah.
And so what was the course of like how did that group, what was like the progression of that group? You guys are doing those shows, you guys are making albums, mixtapes, putting stuff out, and just kind of repeat. It was
just repeat, and we got to a place where there was a deal. I wasn't really hands-on in that world. I remember just being like, I'm just gonna show up.
Yeah.
I wasn't really dialed in to the artistry yet. I was just fulfilling a role and still understanding who the hell I was, you know. So I don't remember every single thing. It's a bit of a blur, but I do remember one point where a deal was offered to Rapture Camp, but it didn't sit right with Anthony, who was in contact with the person who offered this deal. And then from there, it got a little stagnant. And that's when Thurs and I branched out, and we became You and I in 2006.
I want to say this is the right name. I could be wrong. I want to say it's Sean Healy.
Sean Healy.
Yeah.
That's the name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was like if you want to perform tonight, you got to buy 50 tickets so that you can perform tonight. And it's up to you if you sell those 50 tickets, but you're paying me, $500 or whatever for 50
mind
tickets.
You, it's four fucking people, and we all have the same friends.
Yeah.
So we got to go outside of our circle of friends to strangers.
Yeah.
And sell ourselves for them to buy the tickets, which I love. Like, I'm so happy I can say I went through those stages.
For sure.
Of
you have
paying
to.
my dues.
Yeah, 100%.
Because a lot of people, we thankful for platforms like this too, because a lot of people think you just pop up and you just made it overnight. Like, you didn't sleep in your car, you didn't sell tickets, you didn't get told no's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the shit I love.
Yeah.
That like feeds into my identity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the thing that builds character. That's like the thing that also builds experience, builds knowledge.
Yes.
There's a lot of value that comes from those, even if they fail, or especially if they fail.
Yeah.
So you start You and I out of Rapture Camp, and where did the name come from?
That's all Thurs's brains, man.
Okay.
Thurs's brain is special. I remember we were on the phone and we're like, man, we're gonna do this duo. What are we gonna call ourselves? I think Dynamic Duo was, of course, like the first like reaction. We're like, I don't know, Dynamic Duo, I don't know. So I was like, all right, man, let's just get off the phone and just sit on and think. And I'm laying on my bed. Phone rings and Thurs like, yo, I got it. Yo, we're gonna call ourselves You and I. And it comes from this root song. It's like You and I versus the world. And I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to think of it then, but I knew it just sounded good and it stuck.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm done. So that's it. Let's go.
And from there, what's the next steps? It's like we got to make an album or a mixtape.
The next step was make Fried Chicken and Watermelon, which was mixtape album.
Yeah.
And before that, it was Thurs was like, yo, we need a manager. I was like, okay, sure. Thurs found Chris London. How did he find Chris London? I can't remember how he found Chris London, but I remember the day he's like, yo, you got to meet Chris London. And I can't remember where the hell I drove. We went to some restaurant. I drove and we meet. And I'm, when my partner believes in something, I'm rolling with you. So it was a no-brainer. I met Chris and I was just like, you want to be our manager? Cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
Done. Let's go. So then after that, we shake hands, break bread. We're like, all right, we got to make a mixtape, Fried Chicken and Watermelon. And we made that mixtape, I felt like less than a month of recording.
Wow.
I think.
What's the process of even, like, how are you meeting the producers and where are you recording this? And walk me through like that, even that development side.
I remember this is one of the greatest nights ever. The night we met Ro. Theirs was on Nike Talk. He was a big Nike Talk blogger or forum talker. I don't even know the term. I was never into that. And Thurs and Ro met on Nike Talk, and I guess Thurs was like, yo, I got a group. Would love to hear your beats. Heard you're a producer. Thurs and I drive to In-N-Out Burgers in Hollywood by Hollywood High. I think we go into Ro's car in the parking lot. And he's like, hey, what's up? I'm Romel. We just jump in the car. Like, no big deal. And he starts playing music. I'm in the back seat. In my mind, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, it was just shit you just never heard. Like, sound, it just didn't make sense. But it felt right. And I felt ahead. You always feel ahead. Talking about Ro in hindsight, you always feel ahead when you hear his production. So he played Launch, which is the first song on Fried Chicken and Watermelon. It was a wrap. We were just like, yeah, we want that one, we want that one, we want that one. Put that on a blank CD. Took that to Thurs's brother's studio, and we just kept at it.
Is that a house studio?
It was
actual business studio?
It was an actual business studio.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, booth, whole soundboard.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, and at that time, I'm working. Thurs is working, so there was a lot of writing stuff during lunch break, or like writing stuff at home, or writing on your way to the studio, and then just busting it out.
Yeah.
So we recorded Fried Chicken and Watermelon.
Was that all Ro? Mostly Ro? I know there was a couple other producers. There was
Ro. There was DiBiase.
How did you guys connect with him?
How the hell did we connect with DiBiase? Man, I think it was just all internet. It was all internet. And I remember
amazing.
We went to DiBiase's house in his bedroom, and he's playing beats. And I remember hearing Beautiful Day.
Yeah.
I was just like,
yeah.
Whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
I mean, every beat DiBiase played was awesome, but it was Beautiful Day that just like stood out from the pack, and we were just like, whoa,
yeah,
we want that blank CD. And then, you know, just right away. Foz, I think Foz we met through Chris London.
Okay, cool.
And I love how everybody, and I'm thinking about this now, it's like we actually went to the producer. No emails. It's like, we're going to pull up and we're going to go through beats.
Yeah.
And Foz played all kind of beats, and he made the song. He produced the record, Soul Hop. And again, he played tons of beats and just being like, what the fuck? And then when Soul Hop came, it was automatic, man. It's like, yo, we want that.
Yeah, that's like 3 extremely brilliant creative music makers.
Right.
And unique too.
Very unique.
Each one's super unique.
Very unique.
So you guys get through making Fried Chicken and Watermelon in like a month. And is it pressing CDs and starting to do shows?
It was getting a bunch of blanks, putting artwork on the CDs. I remember in Chris's living room, just CDs after CDs, hand by hand, CDs after CDs, stacking up our backpacks, going down Melrose and bringing in a friend, Tomas Whitmore.
Wow.
To create basically buzz behind Fried Chicken and Watermelon. And here we are, backpacks, Thurs holding chicken or watermelon, I can't remember, and myself holding the other, walking down Melrose, introducing our album, and basically telling the story behind Fried Chicken and Watermelon, which was Thurs' genius idea, breaking the stereotype about West Coast artists is always gangster rap, as to every black person, which is true, loves Fried Chicken and Watermelon. But we're following up with some content to break that, to support that title, and just to break the norm of West Coast rap at that time.
Great. You guys accomplished that perfectly.
One thing I regret about that time, though, we had a song called Fat Girls, and it still lives on YouTube. I went up to some fat women and I tried to introduce the song Fat Girl. My approach was just fucked up. My approach is fucked up, man. And I still cringe about that video. But there's also the innocence behind it, which I still love, man. But
just being young and dumb, you know, we all make some mistakes.
Man. I remember in the video, Thursday was like, yo, I did not do this. I did not condone this. Yeah.
Knowing you, though, I know it's from a place of innocence, you know. It's just, I'm sure it was wild.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Good times, though.
Where did the link to Tomas come from?
Thurs and Tomas went to college together. Loyola Marymount.
Man, what a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Just in terms of
brilliant,
creative, video direction, concepts, and execution.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Man, amazing. So you guys are hustling Melrose, shooting videos.
Yep.
And things are just starting to pick up.
They're picking up, man. I mean, we passing out mixtapes on Melrose, leaving stacks of CDs at Undefeated. We had homies at Undefeated, and we're like, man, if you could just put a CD in each bag that somebody buys something. Boom. So imagine all that traffic coming out at Undefeated. Doing shows at Loyola. It's just trying to perform any and everywhere we could possibly be. Shooting videos was like a huge part of our success, because people got to, not only feel, but they could see. And when Beautiful Day, shot by Tomas, was picked up by MTV, that was the start of something big that we had no idea. When that happened, mind you, we spent like $200 to shoot that video. No one got paid. It was just equipment in the mind of Tomas of speeding up the record in real time. to have it in slow motion and when you play it back was genius. Like the Far Side.
Yeah.
And Exhibit. Like, a lot of people have done it, but then nobody's done it in that way.
Yeah.
At that time. So it just stuck. The key of just being consistent. We were just consistent.
Yeah.
The beauty of being consistent, build the momentum, which led to the breakthrough.
Yeah. That's the name of the game, man. I preach that all the fucking time.
Yeah. That's it. There's nothing. It's just the fundamentals, man.
Yeah.
It's just following up and being consistent.
And then you guys start working on A Love Supreme after that.
Yeah.
You probably are working, I don't know where and how that's all coming together. I think, was that all row or was that mostly row? I can't remember.
That was
what the production was. All
that
row.
was all Row Boulevard.
Yeah. And I connect with you guys 3/4 of the way through that album and meet your crazy ass in my apartment. And we basically just lived together for like fucking 3 years.
3 years. Waking up on your couch.
Jeff, Glenn, Thurs, YO, Mitch, everybody. Man.
Wow.
How much fun was that era
Wow.
of time? I think back to that a lot, man. I talk about that a lot as like the frat house just feel of that place, man. There was some special shit that was happening there. And just making music with you guys, man. You know, it was just pure and fun.
Yeah.
You know,
that's it.
And watching, you know, so you guys make that album.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? I feel like it was maybe like the Roxy or something like that was the album release show, and then you guys, I want to say, started going on tour after that.
Yeah, what's it, the Roxy? Yeah.
One of the Hollywood venues.
Yeah.
I remember going through those places with you guys when I was like 18, and you guys would just be sneaking me backstage.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, dude, the Roxy. Yep. But till this day, that's still like one of my favorite venues.
Yeah.
What did it for me was seeing Jay-Z and Linkin Park on that stage.
No way.
When they did the mashup album, they performed it live, and I remember watching that on MTV and just like in awe. And when I found out it was the Roxy, and I was like, wait, the Roxy's in our backyard, and then we're performing at the Roxy. The game face came on, man. I was just like, okay, let me do my part. Let's do our part right. Like, this is some heavy hitters that put foot on this stage.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the things that was evident to me. I mean, you guys had a great dynamic in like everything you did, whether it was writing, rapping, but especially performing. You're like dual energy, like you just fucking lit it up.
I love to perform
on stage, man.
I love to perform. It started in 6th grade. Doing the talent show, dressed up as like one of the Jacksons, and doing dancing machine. That was my first taste of like performing and seeing the classmates and student bodies' reaction. And I fell in love with that from that moment. I did Jackson 5. I did the Rough Riders Anthem, DMX, rest in peace, 8th grade. And then at high school, wrote my first song called She's a Fox with my boy Michael Pye. I was addicted to that stage. Even on the basketball court, I love to just get the crowd going, like feed into the crowd. And then that just transcended into the music, and it's like, how can I connect with that person right there, or this whole seat of people right there? What is the energy y'all need? I fiend for that shit. And also, it lets me know that if our song is whack, it's whack. If it's dope, it's dope.
Yeah.
You won't know until you actually go out there in the crowd.
Yeah.
On that stage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. That was an interesting thing to watch songs we were making and just see you guys go perform and just kind of as an observer, front or side of the stage, and just seeing like, oh, that interesting. That one's working really well. And this moment in this song, and you know, and then seeing you guys start to hit like, I guess it was maybe more the bigger college shows I just feel like that was kind of what when I started going with you guys and doing like photography stuff.
Yeah.
And just shooting the shows.
I was just watching that video on Vimeo the other day.
Oh wow!
What was that? Riverside? We opened up for LMFAO.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's somewhere down. It's like somewhere south or east. You know, that was a crazy night.
Yeah, like I remember. I just remember being like, okay, while we're on this stage, yeah, crazy. Thousands of kids, but it was like we were so distant from them.
Yeah.
We felt the need to jump off the stage and go into the stands to connect. There's that thing with just connecting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird setup in that regard, you know? It's like so far away. I remember that. I still remember that vividly. That's funny.
Yeah, man. I need to touch. I need to feel.
So you guys are making pretty big moves at that point in time, starting to do bigger shows, and it was kind of what I guess like Love Supreme 2.0 was happening. So you guys were doing like an extended version, live version of the album, replacing samples, getting a little smarter that we got to not have samples in the music and have some stuff for licensing. And then some of the bigger opportunities I feel like started to come in. It was like the Green Label sound.
Green Label, yeah.
You guys were what? Well, I think like, I mean, one of the first, if not the first, I feel like I remember to go through.
Yeah, I think. I mean,
for the Land of the Kings.
Land of the Kings, and again.
Or song.
Yep. That was a single, and linked up with Tomas. Shot the video, produced by Ro. And yeah, that was when we signed with ICM and things started to escalate.
Get serious.
Things started to escalate very fast.
Yeah.
Like very fast.
Yeah. What's that like, man, when you're going through that? You able to even be present as it's picking up?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, all jokes aside, like present for like breakfast.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta eat, and then everything else is just go.
Yeah.
There's no time to like. I don't remember a time just sitting still and being able to go, what do I actually think? Like everything.
Yeah.
I do not remember a single moment like that. Yeah, and then from that time, ICM was like, yo, we're going to put you on tour. Warren G. It's like, huh? Shit, okay. I'm working. We're still working. I'm still living with our parents.
Yeah.
And again, that was like, that went by extremely fast, but that moment was when I honestly, so when you go away from LA to me and you come back after doing some big shit, you're looked at as a star. And when we came back from tour with Warren G, that's when the oh shit started happening for me. It was just like tons of people were my friends all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Tons of people were just around me. I didn't know how to differentiate what from what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a wild thing to navigate, man.
So there was never a moment of me being able, not even being able, there was never a moment of me just like knowing to slow down and know and evaluate what is what. I was just in go mode. Go. All I knew was go.
Yeah, I mean, to some degree, though, watching you, I mean, like that energy, I feel like fed a lot too. You know, I mean, because you guys were just doing so much. I mean, even then, it was like still creating that next album.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that even had a name, but just, you know, amidst all those things going on.
Yeah.
I remember going to San Francisco with you guys, and you guys opened for fucking Drake in like 2009, maybe 2010. I don't know, maybe it was a little later.
2009. It might have been 2000. Yeah, no, that was 2009.
I mean, I can find a video photo of it around that time, which was also insane to me.
Yeah.
Just seeing like, oh my god.
Only fucked up part, they didn't open up the curtains, dog. I'm still mad about that, bro. We performed in front of the curtains, dog. They didn't open up the curtains for us.
Nice. That's how you
fucked
get
up, Drake.
a proper openers setup.
Yeah, I remember Tomer was on the drums in front of the curtains.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that point, where like how do things continue rolling?
At that point, Drake and we went on tour with Talib Kweli.
Oh, well, yeah, I remember that.
That was hella cool.
He is amazing, man.
That was hella cool. That was the first time I'm on a tour bus.
Nice. Big difference.
Big difference. I was like, whoa, we're in a little minivan. I was just like, whoa, this is cool. This is fucking cool. Like, damn, you got a refrigerator, beds, like this is TVs. It's like, what? He would bring us on stage every night to rap over Get 'Em High, produced by Kanye. I still get chills thinking about that shit.
That's crazy.
Tyler that was one of the coolest tours ever, man.
Yeah.
His sound engineer, forget his sound engineer, old school player, man. He was like, he introduced us to Bombay, some gin. He's like, man, you gotta put some hair on your chest, man. You know about this Bombay. I was like, word, man, whatever, dog. School me to the game, man. I was just saying yes to everything, man. Just soaking in all the game, from Talib to his sound engineer to even Krondon was on that tour too, man.
Wow.
I remember him just like opening up and giving us advice on the tour bus, and just like, this is cool.
Yeah, man, he is such a great human too. The two of them
Yes.
are super huge gems to music and just as people.
Man,
crazy. So your Talib Kweli tour, come back. You guys are in process of making, I guess, what I would consider like the debut album, kind of like the real first You and I album.
Yeah.
And even that was like, you guys were, man, that was like DJ Dahi, DJ Khalil,
man, yes,
Dewan Parker,
yep,
1500 or nothing. Man, I used to be so jealous when you guys would go to that studio. I wanted to go with you so bad, man. You'd come back, you'd play me some shit that you made. We'd cut a verse, we'd cut like your verse to it after or some shit, so I could feel included. But man, you guys, you'd come back, and Khalil. Anytime Thurs took me to Khalil's one time, and I got to film him and Danny make a beat from scratch.
Oh damn!
But man, those moments were so, like, that was so cool to me, and like the music you guys were making was extremely special. THX too, all the stuff that was happening for that album.
It was a special time, man.
Yeah,
special time.
Yeah, it really was. Do you remember, like, was there any kind of, and like, if it's not stuff you want to talk about, we can skip over anything, but do you remember that there was any specific kind of like breaking point moments for you guys as you were kind of hitting the wall?
We could clearly talk about it now, man.
Cool.
Yeah, man. I can't even pinpoint what it was, but I remember when I think we were going to Japan. We didn't say nothing the whole flight to each other.
Wow.
We didn't say anything. I don't know why, bro. I have no idea why. Just our egos at the time, bro, was just clashing. And when that happened, and I remember our Seattle show, our chemistry on stage, mind you, we went from goofing around before shows, talking shit, laughing, blah, 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 communicating, to at some point just not talking to each other. And it was the University of Washington show. We had a show and we were backstage, and Thurs was there, I was there, and I knew in that moment, like, fuck, this is not cool. We went on stage, did the show, but inside felt like shit. If I was to rate that show, it was like 1 out of 10. That shit was like a 4. But the people had no clue what was going on. We still put on face, we put on show, and we did our shit. But in that moment, that's when the group just started to deteriorate, man. And it was just simply the lack of communicating.
Yeah.
That's it. And I also, like, at that time, there would be sessions. I'm getting sucked into the party life. I wouldn't pull up to the sessions. I'm getting lit somewhere, having the rock star Hollywood life, doing some crazy YO shit.
Yeah.
So a mix of that, not talking. That's when we started to go on a decline. Yeah. the lack of communicating. Like, if I could, and I don't regret anything, because I feel like that has shaped us as men and as artists and as fathers. And then coming back now, recording new stuff, is like, man, there's so much depth to our story.
Yeah.
There's so much music we could share for the next group that might be dealing with the same issue or not, but like, there's a story to it now. Not that there wasn't, but there's just more depth.
Sure.
Yeah. And on the outside looking in, the mystiqueness would, to me, just makes our story more appealing.
For sure. I mean, it was a wild journey, and from the sidelines, I feel like that pretty much describes it perfectly.
Yeah.
And so you go through that, and you like, do you guys have like a formal moment where you just decide, like, we got to just call it quits?
Yeah, I remember being extremely scared to call it quits. I called theirs at Kitchen 20. We went to Kitchen 24. I was like, yo, we got to talk, bro. I was fucking panicking, bro, because I knew it needed to be done. As crazy as that sounds, it just got to a place where it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just got to a point where I was like, I don't feel right. I don't like where we're at. I don't want to do this. And to most people, like, yo, what? Like, ICM and tour, VMA, yada yada yada. I'm just like, dude, none of that shit really, that ain't moving me.
Yeah.
It's like, my brother and I are not right. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit.
Yeah.
That I don't care.
Yeah.
So that was 2010, which was one of the hardest and best decisions that I think that I can personally say I've ever done.
Sure.
Because from that moment, for me, I got to tap in to my issues and what was bothering me at that time. I got to tap into who Jonas Michael really is. Because there was, again, shit was happening so fast. I forgot who I was. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what my purpose was. I forgot even what my why is. Like, why am I even doing this? Like, all of that shit got blinded. So that was my way to just put a pause on things and just reevaluate myself and, like, question, what am I doing? What do I want to do? Even if I don't even have the answer in that moment, it was just like,
start the question.
Yeah, let's start dealing with the hard shit that you've been keeping internally, like, on mute, you know. And
where do you pick up with that? Where's that start? Is that moving out of LA and recalibrating?
It started working on my first solo album, literally getting lost in Hollywood. I was literally being a lone wolf and just I find myself in the darkest parties, the dirtiest bars, having conversations with myself. And then I can turn this into an actual song, and just turning it into art, dealing with pain and issues that were eating me alive, and then turning into music. I recorded some records over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was the start of basically being born again. Yeah.
Was there ever a doubt of like continuing to go forward with music, or it was just like, nah, there's just no other?
No, I never doubted music. Never. I might took a break from it. It was always like, I'm gonna make an album. I just need to like realize who I am and what am I doing and what am I actually feeling.
Yeah. So you make the Lost in Hollywood album, and go through the release of that album, and just continue the path of creating music.
Yeah, creating music and dealing with real life shit, man. Just my girlfriend at the time, we were beefing, and we had a place. I moved out of my place, split up, moved back with my parents. In the midst of that, boom, you're having a baby. It's like, what? What else could happen? And that shit was again, one of the greatest like gifts ever. Found out in Africa, in Johannesburg, my girlfriend at the time was booking. She did like what do you call them? Tour bookings, and she booked J. Cole. I was like, well, that makes sense. I might as well just come out there. And J. Cole and I was friends, and I was like, I'm gonna come. Went to South Africa. She's throwing up, and I'm just like, whoa, you should take a pregnancy test. She comes out the bathroom, bro, crying. I'm just like, oh, holy shit. What the fuck? Like, yo, so many voices is going in and out of my brain right now. And that was like that with the split of you and I, and knowing I'm gonna be a father, was like the stamp of like, okay, God's with me, obviously. Here's something to grow into and get growth from and become who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Didn't know that in the moment, bro. I was scared as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course. I mean, dude, you're literally halfway around the world going through the biggest life changes.
26, 27 years old.
Yeah. Insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane to be dropped into that.
Yeah.
And so you're there. Were you opening on the tour? Were you there performing, or were you?
No, I was just there to support. And J. Cole and I had a relationship at the time, so it was funny. I remember him asking me backstage, it's like, yo, like, why would you split? What happened? And I gave him some bullshit answer at the time, but you know, it was still dealing with the you and I split. J. Cole asking me that, and finding out I'm having a baby. It was like, yo, what is what right now, man?
Yeah. Yeah, insane. Absolutely insane. And you guys have a baby. You're dealing with being a new dad and starting this whole new chapter of life.
Whole new chapter, bro. We moved to Santa Barbara. Again, another thing I love about me, I pat myself on the back. I trust myself. I will just surrender. I barely question myself because I trust me. And that move to Santa Barbara, a lot of people are like, don't do it. A lot of people say, don't have a baby. Like, yo, like, it was so much.
Yeah.
I was getting so much. And moving to Santa Barbara was like another most amazing thing that could have ever happened to me. I got the ability to get away from noise, basically. Be in a town where no one knows me, and and be with my daughter, where everything's 10 minutes away, and the water's right there. That was like the biggest blessing I could have ever had, because that literally shape shifted everything from that point. I mean, I got into surfing. That like changed my whole psyche. That changed my whole energy. That changed my whole music. It just made me realize, like, surfing just made me realize, like, yo, what you think is a big problem, small as a fucking ant, dog.
Yeah.
Don't take it so literal. Go have fun. Go back in the city. Like, when you're out in that water, bro, everything just goes whoop.
Yeah.
And you look back in the city and you're just like, damn, I was carrying that weight out there. You leave it all in the water. You go back in there. You just vibrate on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So here I am surfing now, raising a daughter. First time I'm learning about earthing, walking around barefoot. Like, my whole life just changed, bro. The hippie came out, dog. The hippie that was in me came out, bro. A whole, like, bohemian spiritual lifestyle that I didn't know I had in me. But again, it's like making those decisions, like, yo, I gotta disperse. Yo, I gotta move to Santa Barbara. I don't know why, but like, I feel the need that these things need to happen. You hate me now, but hopefully this shit will make sense.
Yeah. That's how it goes. You know, that's how it goes. When you're in the right place, it's just, bro. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You always have to.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you're there, and what's like work and life like outside of surfing and having a daughter?
I got into buying for a streetwear store in Santa Barbara.
Cool.
I've always been into fashion and
clothes.
Yeah,
of course.
And
between you and Jeff, man, you two are like the most fashionable, coolest motherfuckers ever to me.
Thank you, bro.
I was super spoiled having you guys as like my big brothers, especially Jeff. I look up to Jeff, man. Jeff's the fucking coolest motherfucker ever in terms of all his style. And his
Greg was all right. Yeah, he's hella cool.
He would be like, hey man, yeah, I just did this photo shoot, or I was modeling, or I did this, or I'm working with this company. Come, just whatever you want in my closet, just come take it.
Right.
You know, and everybody who knows me knows I'm a hoarder. So I'll be like, can I have that one? And can I have that one? And can I have that one? And what about this one?
Listen, I remember Jeff in high school. He was the first person I saw with fitted hats all hanging all over his wall. And I'd be like, bro, this is so cool. What the hell? He's like, well, how you want to wear? I was like, Well, it's like literally walking into a Foot Locker, dog. I was just like, yeah.
That one.
Yeah, Jeff, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool motherfucker, man.
Yeah, I mean, you two always the most stylish in the best way.
Man. So I'm in Santa Barbara, and the way I got my job, I walked into a streetwear store called Accomplice. Not even knowing it was Accomplice.
Those guys are so great.
They were part of the UNI career, just like always supportive and posting our videos and giving us clothes at any time, or Risu too. But I walk into Accomplice store with Stella in the stroller, just browsing, and the girl gives me a compliment. She's like, yo, love your style. Where'd you get it from? We just start shooting the shit. And I'm like, man, I don't live here, just moved in town. She's like, yo, we're hiring. I was like, oh. At that time, the ego felt a little weird hearing that too. I was like, huh, wait. I do need a job, but do I need a job? Like, I'm YO. Like, you know what I'm saying? That ego. And so she said, I'm hiring. And I, in my mind, holding a stroller. I was like,
yeah.
Okay, I gotta do this. So she's like, yeah, this is Accomplice. I'm like, Accomplice? I fucking know Accomplice. Who is Accomplice? It took a minute to register. I'm like, holy shit, I know the owners at Accomplice. So I called the guys. I'm like, yo, I just moved to Santa Barbara. Randomly stumbled into your store. Heard you're hiring. I need a job. They're like, yo, we'll connect you with the actual owner who's there. Long story short, I end up running the store on State Street in Santa Barbara for about 2 years. This is basically going back to all the contacts that would support you and I and telling them about the store.
Cool. Funny how that works. Full circle.
Right. Right. So I did that for 2 years. Yeah, it was just, and it never, the cool thing about it never felt like work. It just felt like I was in my big closet.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to go, who do I want in this closet? What do I want to wear? And I would just reach out to brands, give them the background about the store, location, who shops there. And like, yo, I would love to get these pieces in here, blah, blah, blah. It was just, it was so simple and easy. And I'm getting to play music throughout the day. It was super cool.
Yeah.
The beach is right there.
Doesn't get any better.
Didn't feel like work, man.
Yeah.
It felt weird when every now and then people would recognize me. The ego would feel weird. I'll be like, this is weird. Like, yeah, I'm him. And they're like, what are you doing here? It's like, I'm working.
Yeah.
How do you explain that story? It was like, I always felt weird in those moments.
It's funny, but that's a real reality that I feel like most people fail to understand, is like, especially if you're transitioning like out of a music career, like, dog, you got to work. You got fucking bills to pay. Like, the reality is most of the time, especially you guys were unfortunately at like the end of like the CD selling era and like the overlap of the streaming era, but it still wasn't really a thing. And I mean, obviously even now it still pays like shit, but it just wasn't really like, oh, you have this catalog that you can like live off royalties and you guys start building this like monthly income off the hype and the, you know, explosion that you guys had as, you know, your career. Like you can't really capitalize on that to have residual income, because you guys are doing this, you know, selling CDs and doing things like the traditional way you make, you know, money from music. But when you stop selling CDs,
right,
you know, like, so that's the interesting reality that most people don't know, you know, or face, is like, oh yeah, I gotta fucking pay my bills. I need a job. I gotta work.
Yeah. It was a big one
I'm sure it's a big change too, though, you know, for having that freedom that you had. Yeah. And traveling as an artist to having a kid and having a stable job. Yeah. Yeah. About as polar opposite, you know, as it gets. So you do that, and as you're leading, you get back into creating again with Roe. Start working on another album.
I started working on what did I work on? Black Swan Theory. Lost in Hollywood. Black Swan. No, the mixtape before Black Swan Theory. That was damn, I'm going back down memory lane. Hold on. Lost in Hollywood. Oh yeah, no, I started working on Black Swan Theory. Right there, yeah.
In Santa Barbara.
Yep. It was in Santa Barbara.
Nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I would spend time going back to LA every now and then, but most of those songs were recorded in Santa Barbara. Cool.
And so you go through kind of getting back into shaking the rust off a little bit, making some music. Yeah. How'd it feel?
Sorry, I'm trying to go back in time.
Yeah.
How it actually really felt. It was weird. It was like dancing with two left feet almost. It was just trying to get used to the muscles I forgot about.
Sure.
Some songs would take like a fucking 2 weeks to write. Some songs would hit me. I'd get it in 1 hour. And it was uncomfortable. It was a mix of like being anxious and uncomfortable and excitement all at the same time, and trying to understand, like, again, what is it that I want to express? What is it that I'm feeling? But yet learning fatherhood at the same time. It was a lot to it was a lot to get accustomed to, man. But knowing it was still gonna put a smile on my face, like it's music.
Yeah.
It was just the process. It was a hard process to get through, But once like I started getting in that flow again, then I was like, okay, this is what I miss. And then seeing Ro and making like, what did we do? We did the Lisa Bonet and then Tomer, the Black Swan Theory. I made that smoking weed in my boxers, and I was like, yes, this is it. Yes. Like had a USB mic in the living room. Just let loose, just got naked, man. When I started getting in flow, I was like, okay, this is cool again. This feels good.
Yeah. Cool.
I miss this.
Yeah.
You know?
Wild, man. So you go through making another album, and you're still working at the store?
Yeah, I'm still working at the store. Actually, I moved back. I moved back to Santa Barbara. I moved back to LA. I was split with the mother of my daughter Stella, and I moved back to LA. And at that time, I'm moving with my uncle, and I get a corporate job. Sorry, this is all a blur. It's all coming back. I get a corporate job, PCMG, as a sales rep selling hardware, software, technology, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, this is during the making of Black Swan Theory, and I did that for about a year, bro. And again, it's just me. I'm just simply on this journey, like trying to find myself, not knowing it, just by instinct. I'm going here, moving there, getting jobs, still trying to record, and spent about a year at PCMG, bro. Mind you, I'm still doing shows, so some days hungover, I'm not going to work from the previous night. My boss is like, man, you can't do that. And I gave you this job because I saw me and you. I once was an artist, right? That was his thing. And it wasn't until I got another show in the Czech Republic. No, sorry, Scotland. Had a show at St. Andrews in Scotland. So I missed like, I think I missed like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days at work. I'm like the top seller at work too, on my team. Come to work and they're like, man, you gotta make a decision. You can't keep missing work. And I kid you not, bro, this was like a movie. I'm in my cubicle. My boss walks up to me. He's like, yo, we're gonna have a big meeting. His boss walks by me, and his boss's boss walks by me, like trying to intimidate me, knowing that I have to meet them all outside in the back to basically make my decision if I'm gonna stay here or do music. I already know what the fuck I'm gonna do, but I'm like low key still terrified. Like if I quit, like how am I gonna make money? You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I know I need to do this. So I go in the back. They're putting on the show, walking back and forth like, kid, you're the top seller, yada yada yada. Mind you, I wheeled in a deal, Nick, $4 million. I probably got like on my commission check, like $2,000 or some bullshit like that. Oh wow, bro.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, fuck you guys, man.
I'm like, yo, no brainer. They're like, yo, you can't keep missing work. What are you gonna do? Guys, I'm not gonna stop making music. I'm gonna continue doing shows. I'm gonna continue missing work. You tell me. I was like, I'm not gonna quit music. So basically, what you're saying is I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna miss. So basically, I should quit. Is that what you're saying? I quit, bro. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Quit right on the spot.
Wow, that must have been a crazy moment.
What? It was that moment, silence for like 10 minutes by myself outside the office. Like, what did I just do? Are you kidding me? Like, yo, hopefully this is the right decision. And kid you not, man, I I went back to Santa Barbara, moved back to Santa Barbara, got another job in the streetwear store. Did that for another 2 years, and again, dude, just figuring it out.
Yeah.
Figuring it out. And it wasn't until 2018. I went there in 2016, moved back 2018. I was like, okay, after not making any music after Black Swan Theory, I was like, it was just a calling after surfing and, being with my daughter and getting into meditating and starting to tap in with like spirits and my ancestors and prayers again, which I lost. I got back to that rhythm. That was when 2018, I said, all right, I'm going to get back to this music life. I'm going to dedicate myself to this music life. Let me walk in this purpose. Didn't actually happen like that immediately, but I knew once I leave, I'm not coming back. If I ever go back to Santa Barbara again, I'm buying property, a house tucked away. Like, I'm not going back there to get my shit in order again.
Sure.
So that was the contract I made with myself, man. And 2018 was the start of like another rebirth of Jonas Michael. Moved in with my parents, and I was there for 2 years. And just again, finding my way. Shout out to the parents for like letting me get my shit together.
Yeah, man.
Man. Like, I don't know what I would do without my parents and family. I literally don't know. Who knows? But like, them understanding and knowing their son, and like, cause had they not believed in my music career, they would easily be like, yo, I think you should try something else.
Yeah.
They've easily said that in different industries I tapped into, and they were like, this is not you.
Yeah.
You should give that up.
Yeah.
So for them for me seeing them to believe in myself gave me even more courage. I can actually do this. I can do this. And from 2018, I think that was like me just chipping away to getting back to myself again, brick by brick.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go through making, is it another album that gets made in that time?
Yeah, I went, what did I do? I did Love is Legal. Love is Legal I made. That was kind of like while I was in Santa Barbara transitioning into LA. I made Love is Legal EP, shot a video for every song on the EP. Yeah, I was just dedicated, man. I mean, I traveled to Philly to work with one of the producers on that album, Dan Dilemma. He produced the song Blue California and Better Man. And Blue California also co-produced by my buddy Austin Brown. So it was just the time of just getting back to the music community, tapping in with the producers and the directors, and we're like, hey, I'm here again. I want to do this. Are you down? It's straightforward.
And then whatever that period of time is, we run into COVID. And how does that hit you? Yeah.
Good old COVID. COVID. What did I do? After Love is Legal, I did Yo Boulevard with Ro. I did one show for that album before COVID at the Ace Hotel. Ooh, and it was like that show was like, okay, like the excitement was back, the people showed up and showed out, and I was like, oh my God, this is great. Like we got something here. And COVID hit. Bong. I mean, just as the world, I'm sure as you, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't, what do I do? What am I going to do? The first thing was not to make music. I'm still lost of words. Like how it was just like a big question mark on what am I gonna do now? How do we bounce back from here?
Yeah.
And in all those days of questioning, the greatest thing was just having a family in the house every day. The brother coming out of his dorm at USC and my other brother, and we're all in the house just like figuring it out together and not really knowing what is what. Which led me to like look inward more, and like I had the time to like work on me. I had the time to like, man, why don't I just do that crazy idea of making that clothing line that has been living in my head for years? Why don't I just eat better? Like that pandemic, COVID was another blessing. Like turned it into a positive. Granted, there was lives that people lost, families. Like I lost somebody with the COVID. But it was that COVID for me was my awakening. Yeah, that was an awakening. Yes, indeed.
And you go through that whole period of time. We connect like a month and a half ago again, and you resurface styling fucking Chris Tucker,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm thinking Chris Rock because of the Will Smith shit.
Yeah.
How can you
Chris
not right
Tucker.
now? And you come out styling Chris Tucker. How does that come together?
My buddy Austin, he calls me. Well, no, he's texting me. No, he's calling me during an audition that I'm doing with my friend, and I'm declining it because I'm just trying to be present with my friend. And he sends a text, and he's like, "Yo, call me, bro. It's important." I'm like, "Oh, okay, hold on." I pick up the phone, call him. He's like, "Hey, my buddy Chris Tucker." I'm like, "Uh-huh." Yeah, like what? He's coming in town, and I told him about you. You should style him for a Super Bowl and the NBA All-Star Weekend. I'm like, bro, shut up, man. Yeah, right. Click. I hung up, bro. He calls me back. He's like, bro, I'm serious. Like, yo, are you on board? I'm like, wait, are you serious right now? He's like, I'm dead serious, bro. He'll be here in 2 days. I'm giving him your number. I'm about to put y'all on text. All right, sure. Cool. He puts us on text. I say, what's up? I wanted to say, what's up, Smokey? I wanted to say Smokey so bad. I was like, that's not professional, man. But damn, I'm a fan, bro. Like, yeah. I'm a fan. And I'm like, the whole time, I'm just like bugging. Like, as I'm texting, I'm like, yo, I'm literally texting Chris Tucker. Like, what the fuck? Like, to me, he's an LA staple.
Oh, of course. He's a fucking legend.
Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Friday. He was even in the California Love video. A lot of people don't know that. He's in the California Love video with Tupac and Dr. Dre, dog. So I'm texting. He doesn't call me till the next day. And my phone rings and it says no caller ID. And I pick up. Hey, Jonas. I'm like, what the fuck in my brain? I can't really do a Chris Tucker impression, but that was he was like, hey, man, heard some good stuff about you, man. My boy Austin told me about you. I love your stuff, man. What can you do? I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, I got to meet you, man. Like, let's go over your style, what you like, and let me see what I could bring to the table. And, man, that was the most coolest, easiest experience ever. I showed him some pieces. He loved it. picked up the pieces thanks to just building these relationships from success in the music world. And I pick up these clothes and get to the hotels. I'm with a friend, by the way. The bodyguard comes down. The guy's like, yeah, I don't think. He's like, who's the stylist here? Like, it's me. He's like, yeah, Chris ain't going to want two of y'all to come up. And I was like, oh, out of due respect. I was like, well, that's totally fine. Go upstairs. Chris opens up the door, man. I was just like, yo, this is Smokey, bro. This is Chris Tucker. I'm just in awe, man. But I'm also on game time mode. Like, walk in, take the clothes out, lay it on the bed, and he's trying it on, man. And he's just like, he's just in love with all the pieces, and we narrowed it down to that Super Bowl piece, that the blue jumpsuit by Amiri. And he was happy. I saw him happy. I'm happy. And he's like, cool, man. One thing, just the pants is a little too long. Can you get these tailored? I don't want to be out here looking like. He was like, the one joke was like, I don't want to be out here looking like I'm wearing Shaq's warm-up pants. And the way he said out, man, I couldn't laugh too hard because I just wanted to be like, you know, in game mode. Like, let me just deliver. But Chris is hella cool, man. He's just one of us, bro. Just shooting the shit, cracking jokes. Southern Soul. Came back the next day, had his pants tailored. And that was that, man. He went to the Super Bowl and he's texting me like, man, so many people loving it, loving my looks. Can you do it again for a basketball All-Star weekend? I'm just like, whoa. I'm having all these like zoom out moments, like pause. Can I really? Can I style you again for NBA All-Star weekend? Man, I'm blown away, Nick, and I'm just understanding the assignment, bro. Get the clothes, dress him, he likes it, and it's done. I don't know if it's always like that, but I'm just so grateful and blessed, dog, that shit is just in flow.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I was really excited to hear that. It seemed like it was such a natural fit, you know, and knowing you've been going through that whole journey that we just basically ran through, you know, I mean, I've known you for, man, like 14 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, obviously in and out of touch, but for the first like fucking 4 years or whatever that, you know, we were together 5-6 days a week, every fucking day, you know,
doing everything.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an amazing journey, man. It's super cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we did a pretty damn good job covering a lot of stuff. There was some things I was going to bring up, like the car accidents and things like that, because I know those were pretty pivotal moments for you.
Yeah. I got in 2 crazy car accidents. One, not drinking and driving, just coming from Palmdale to L.A. I was living in Palmdale at the time, and coming all the way to L.A. because I'm a loyal person to my barber.
Oh, man.
Chuck Taylor.
Yep. Jeff took me to go see Chuck, man.
Yeah. Chuck cut off the mohawk.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I remember. Yeah, I was filming
Roxy.
that. Yeah.
So I go get a haircut, drive back home. It's about, and I'm a block away from my house. It's about 10 o'clock at night. I just fall asleep behind the wheel. Wake up, and I'm about to hit the stop sign, probably going about 50 miles per hour. Natural instinct is to, you know, swerve, go to the left, and my car spins, and the impact of me hitting the stop sign to my left, it was a four-way stop sign street, makes the car flip, and then I crash into a power pole upside down. Like, some person on the scene grabs my phone as I'm upside down, and he's like, yo, who do you want me to call? All I remember saying is, Mom, call my mom, mom. And calls my mom. 11 o'clock at night, she gets a phone call. Her son, hey, your son is in a horrible car accident. You should come see. And I'm sure they thought I was done. So they dragged me out the car, bro. Not a scratch in sight.
Wow.
Broken bone. They're like, you're in shock. We got to take you to the hospital. Go in the hospital. Stay there for a couple hours. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I checked myself out. And they're like, man, you can't. I'm like, yes, I can. I'm good. I don't want to be in here. You're going to be in pain tomorrow. Long story short, woke up the next day. Totally fine. Nothing was wrong.
Wow, man.
That is just the angels, man. That's the angels around me, man, protecting me.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
I get a lot of wake up calls, man, and I used to be very stubborn, man, and I believe now, looking back, that's just like they're actually God's kisses and kisses from the universe to like wake my ass up. You know, it's like, okay, since you're not listening there, we're gonna this needs to happen, which will then
reset
me and have a whole nother trajectory.
Yeah.
2 accidents, man. Another one is birthday weekend, leaving Santa Barbara to go to a party, drinking and driving, man. And whew, that one put me behind bars because my ass hits a 12 wheel truck, one of them big rigs. Puts me behind bars. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, not seeing outside. It was just like, yo, like, if you don't get it now, bro, like, when you gonna get it? You know, and spending almost a month in jail behind bars. We're like, people that's locked up in there for some serious shit. Man, I was like, okay. All right, I get the message. Let me stop fucking around. And like live up to my purpose. Live up to the higher self that I'm like destined to be. And you know, I'm just one of those people that can share those stories to be like, just stop fucking around, man, and grab the bull by his horn. Because if I could do it, you could do it. That's the people I live for now, man. It's like, just get to it, bro. Just get to it. Don't wait for them big moments where you get kicked in the ass. That shit ain't fun.
Yeah, you could do it the easy way. You don't have to wait for that.
That ain't cool.
Well, that's a beautiful note to end on, man. I appreciate you coming to do this. This is a real treat. Knowing you through my lifetime's been a real treat. So can't thank you enough, man. I got tons of love for you.
Love you too, bro. Thank you.
Yeah. That's a wrap.
How long was that?
Hour and a half.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.